Anyone who, after taxes, can retain some of his or her hard-earned earnings can, if he or she wishes, invest in different ways to obtain a certain return. You can leave this on your saving account, as many Belgians do, and then have a return of 0.11%. You can also buy bonds and funds whose added value is never really guaranteed by social, economical or political developments. You can also invest in stocks, but then you need to do a fair amount of homework through a true study of the company before you buy the shares. Going through a prospectus, an annual report and the annual accounts can take a lot of time, and you also need to do some calculations to know about the company's financial situation. Or the bank can do it for you. The bank will give you some information about several types of investment. You then buy a stock package, but you do not know what it is in that package and in what you have invested your money. You have the right to ask your banker about this, but whether he or she can give you a solid answer is far from certain. Yet this extremely is important for you as a customer. If, for example, you are a vegetarian, you want to know whether or not meat companies are included in your investment package. If you are an environmental activist, it is probably important for you that your share package does not contain environmental polluting companies such as the oil-producing industry. The composition of your portfolio must be composed in such a way that you can achieve a certain return. Let us also mention that your bank will also present you a bill for it. In other words, the so-called costs associated with your investment. These costs are usually a big bite out of your expected return, and your return is not guaranteed at all. Let's look at the problem files that the banks have known in recent years and where they have already enjoyed state protection and financial state injections on several occasions. As a customer, you not only have the risk of seeing your investment going up in smoke, but you also have the risk of being obliged to contribute financially to bank overdrafts. The only certain form of investment that at least maintains its purchasing power is gold. When you ask your bank for an investment in gold, they will certainly advise you a number of ETFs on gold or maybe another form of paper gold. However, they will never advise you to purchase physical gold. They will also never advise investing in numismatic or semi-numismatic coins whose added value can be very interesting in the long run. The reason why banks will never propose this is because physical gold and silver are not banking products. Bank products are only products based on baked air. This translates easily into the small text, past results offer no guarantee for the future. Banking products are too dependent on economic and political developments and are very susceptible to inflation, deflation, recession, interest rates of central banks and the like. Gold, on the other hand, is a means of payment that has been used by the ancient civilizations and whose value has not changed over time. The price of a loaf of bread or a tailor-made suit has remained the same in gold value over time. This makes it clear that only gold protects your purchase value. Gold is only very dangerous if you like to depend on financial markets, political and economical developments and their nefarious related accessories such as currency fluctuations, interest rates and in extreme situations even confiscations of savings and current accounts. Who remembers the banking crisis that took place in Cyprus in the period 2008 or 2009? People could only use €50 per day from their account to buy food in the local supermarkets. They only had access to payments with credit cards or digital payments, and cash was virtually unavailable. The current banking developments according cash money systems have the same manipulated intentions. Banks want cash to be removed from their system to avoid future bank runs. They certainly do not do this for safety reasons to their customers. Meanwhile, everyone knows that there are already a reasonable number of banks that are in trouble. The banks also know that the government can no longer help. The government is also in a difficult financial situation. Let's think back to China, where in the 1950s literally everything was confiscated. Any form of protest was not tolerated at all, and many lost their lives in a gruesome way. The book For Good and Evil, The Impact of Taxes on the Course of Civilization, written by Charles Adams, gives a clear picture of the past. It describes what civilization must undergo through taxes and confiscations. Anyone who has read the book knows that we are again in an era where the tax burden and political manipulations have brought us quite close to the fall of civilization, our civilization. Let's also think back to last century, somewhere in the 1930s, where America had designed a fund for the poor man with a guaranteed return. After some time, the fund was cancelled by the government and almost everyone who had invested had lost his or her money. The book Our Enemy the State, written by Albert J. Nock, shows us the financial and humanitarian history of America from a different point of view. At this very moment, central banks, China and Russia, are investing a lot of money in purchasing gold. In 2018, 651.5 tons of gold was purchased by the central banks, where in 2017 this was only 374.8 tons. If physical gold is not interesting according to banks, then why do central banks buy gold in bulk? In 2013, Iran was excluded from the financial market by American sanctions. This made it impossible for Iran to do business with other countries. Iran then started to pay other countries in gold. Iran derived gold from Turkey on a large scale and bought goods in India, China and Russia. This has lasted until America's sanctions were enforced that no more gold should be traded with Iran. Iran supplied oil and derivatives to other countries and received payments in gold. If physical gold has no financial value according to the banks, why were sanctions in place against countries that wanted to pay Iran in gold? If gold has no financial value, then why Germany holds 3,373.6 tons of gold and the United States of America are holding 8,133.5 tons of gold? If gold would be a dangerous investment, why did China and Russia buy gold on a large scale, so that they both now have more than 1,800 tons of gold? Why are countries such as Poland and Germany repatriate their gold, or have already repatriated their gold to their own countries? Gold and silver, and mainly gold, is the only safe asset that protects your purchasing power against external influences. More information about investing in gold and silver, email us at eddie@blackbullassets.com or by using the application form on our website blackbullassets.com.